in this class, I'm actually going to teach you how to create a class and possibly instantiate that class in object-oriented PHP. So as you can see, my XAMPP control panel is on. I have started my Apache and my SQL. And the first thing that I'm supposed to do is open my editor so that I can write some code. So here I have created some file inside htdocs inside XAMPP, which is OOP, and I have one folder called includes, and I have one file called index.php. Now I'm going to write my first code inside includes, whereby inside includes, as you can see, I have a new file which is called new class.inc.php. Now this .inc should not scare you away, because this is just to show you that I have this file inside my includes folder, and it has nothing to do with anything to do with the code, or how my code is going to run. So just you can call it anything that you have to call it, but just make sure it has a .php extension. So the first thing that you're supposed to do while creating a class, of course, it's open our PHP tags like that, and I'll push the closing tag just some few lines down so that I can have some space to type my code inside here. So the first thing that I'm supposed to do while creating a class is just write the class name. Then you're going to choose a name of a class that you're going to create. For me, I'm just going to use a person. Now there is a convention that a class should be the first letter of a class will be a capital letter, so I'm just going to use a capital letter, as you can see. So after you write the name of the class, of course you have to open and close the curly brackets, and yeah, so that's we have now created our class. So inside the class, there's some things that go in there, of which there are properties and methods. So I'm just gonna write inside here properties and methods go in here. So inside here, that's where we are going to write our functions, our properties, and methods. But for now, I was just showing you how to create a class in PHP. Now, after we create our class, the next thing that we're supposed to do is, of course, instantiate this class. Now, instantiating this class means that we can have some code that is going to call whatever that is inside our class, and that we can show it to the user on the browser, either using views or anything. What you're supposed to do mainly is create an object. Now, an object will just be a variable, and I'm just going to call it object as its name suggests, so that you don't get confused. So there we have our object. Then you write new, then space, then you write the name of the class. So I'm going just to write the name person here, and close it. Now to call this object, the only thing I'm going to use var underscore dump. Then under this one, I'm just going to put the name of this object inside here so that we can see it on the browser. So I'm going to write object, and there we are done. So I'm going to go right straight to my browser so that we can see how this thing is going to work. So as you can see, my object is right now empty, because inside the class I have no any data that I have put inside. So what I'm going to do is go back to my class, and what I'm going to create here is a variable, and it's going to be a public variable. Now I'm going to talk about the scope definers later in this series, where I'm going to talk about the public, the private, and the, I don't remember the other, but I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to create a public variable, of which it's going to be the name of the person, of a person that is, and the name of a person, because it's a string, I'm going to put the two quotation marks, and I'm going to put my name inside, so that you can see what is going to happen on the browser. So I've added some data, and I'm going to reload the browser so that I can see what's going to happen on the other end. So as you can see, my object, it has one element of data, which is the name, and the string has 7 characters, and the name itself is Cyprian. So that is how simple it is to create a class and create also an object that is going to extract the data from the class and show it into the browser using object-oriented PHP.